Hi there. This is Dr. John Whitcomb talking about what I'm going to call the mitochondrial threshold. What could that be? And I'd say it's possibly the root of all diseases. And what I'd like you to read is a book called Metabolical by Robert Lustig if you want to get some more filling in of the concept. But let me just outline a simple core idea for you. When your muscles are at rest and you're not doing anything, sort of like me right now, they aren't expending much energy. And that means your mitochondria don't have anywhere for their ATP to go. So your mitochondria actually have to make energy, and you have to have sugar being broken down into acetyl-CoA being broken down to ATP. And the electron transport chain really requires, if it's full at one end, you can't push any more fuel into it. Sort of like if the gas tank on your car is full, it doesn't do you any good to stick in the hose and turn it back on again. You just overflow, and you have gasoline spilling on the sidewalk. Well, if you get up and suddenly run because there's a leopard chasing you or a lion stalking you, your electron transport chain has to go from 1 to 50,000 in just 2 seconds. That's pretty quick. You have the ability to do that, but what happens if you don't? And what happens if you get out of bed and stretch and then go have a big sugared breakfast and then have a 600-calorie latte on the way, and then a donut when you get to work? You're pushing a lot of fuel into the system and not giving it any place to go because you haven't exercised. It's that delicate balance of topping off your tank that causes your tank to overflow, and electrons then escape. And when they escape, that's the mitochondrial threshold. Because they escape and they call reactive oxygen species. Those reactive and oxygen species have to be neutralized. They get made into peroxide. Peroxide gets out of the cell and damages cells around it, and you get a sequence of events, all of which cause more and more trouble. That's the mitochondrial threshold. What you really want is an empty place. You want a half-empty tank or a full-empty tank. You can empty your tank by fasting, by exercise, by eating less, by avoiding sugar, by avoiding too much food, by eating food that takes longer to process. But this is the core idea behind processed food, and that is that it takes stuff that's half digested already and then it jams it into you so fast you have no way of controlling it. That's the core idea of Robert Lustig's book, is we have overly processed food causing trouble because it's sort of done the digestion for us. It's sort of put the hose into our gas tank, and then we're turning on the fuel pump. What will work for me? I'm trying to eat lower on the food chatter. I'm trying to eat more raw whole foods, less processed, less sugar, less white flour. I'm exercising more, I'm fasting. We're going to talk more about mitochondria, but think of the mitochondrial threshold as being a full gas tank, and you didn't need to add any more. Dr. John Whitcomb from News and Nutrition.